All praises unto the Most High. We give him thanks unto thee, Father, for another beautiful day. We give thanks for every day that we live. All praises unto the Most High. Israel, today is going to be a great lesson today because, it's touching on a topic which, a lot of us see on a day-to-day basis, especially the men, right? Even females as well, but especially even men. So today we're giving thanks and praise unto the Most High for, that we are still here, we're living, and, we are, making the best of what it is now, and, preparing ourselves for the Most High's to come, right? To know that we have salvation in the Father and in the Son, right? So you have to believe that. I didn't believe no, because I know, sometimes I don't have to use that word because, if you look in the dictionary, believe means to be too sure of something, but, whichever way you want to use it still, nevertheless, I know that, my Savior is the King, and also knowing that He is the Redeemer, and He will redeem His people. All praise unto the Most High. You know what I mean? So today is going to be, a really serious lesson. We're talking about. Let me use my word first before I go to the biblical word, right? Because I don't know what this concept is. Sexual immorality. You know what I mean? Israel. Sexual immorality. And that is a point that I'm touching today because I was actually going through some stuff, and I woke up on something on the internet. I heard about it, but I wasn't really paying attention too much to it, because I don't really listen to some of the music, you know what I mean? If not really and truly, I don't really listen to it. Not, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I do listen to music, but it has to be music which is dealing with upfulness and righteousness, you know what I mean? Not about, worldly things, right? All right. No, I came across something which was called a song with Cardi B and this girl called Megan Thee Stallion. Now, listen, family. I'm telling you, when I didn't watch the whole thing because I just wanted to see what, it was really pertaining to. And I watched probably about a couple seconds, you know what I mean? Like, close to almost a minute or less than, to be honest, you know what I mean? Probably about 30 seconds, 35, 40 at most. And, listen, these are the things that they're using it's a spiritual warfare against our people. And they're using our women in the worst way. And not only to degrade them, you know what I mean, but also to spiritually entrap them, and also to spiritually entrap the people. You know what I mean? Because these people, they're using, they are, if you want to say it or not, you don't believe it, they are role models. People look up to these people. So you have to be careful of what you're doing. You know what I mean? And these wicked labels that they are under, put out these things. You know what I mean? When I saw it, I was like, and the lyrics, oh man. I mean, it's shameful. Now, I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because I myself, basically, you could say is, or was, I should say, dealing with music on a certain level, you know what I mean? And I just took the time off, you know what I mean? And just focus on dealing with the Father's works right now, right? I'm not saying that, I wouldn't do a little music, but as I said, if I do, it has to be with dealing with righteousness, You know what I mean? Giving praise to the Father, not them type of thing there. You know what I mean? How is that going to uplift anybody out of the state that they're in? You know what I mean? It's crazy. So, anyways, right? When I saw the video, and you know, just the lyrics and the witchcraft that's in the video, I mean, wow. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we're going to touch on that. We're going to talk about that. And it's not just that particular video, but if you notice from, you know, coming down ever since, even within different genres of music, especially dealing with, like, let's say dancehall or rap, you know, even R&B, you know what I mean? You name it. There's a lot of music across the board, you know what I mean? Soca, you name it, you know what I mean? Even pop music, not as heavy, but you know, it there, and what you call it again? You know, the jump up music, quick music. It's slipping me right now. Like a techno music, right? See, if you see some of them videos with, you know, some of that is in there too. So it's across the board. You know, Israel. These things are not hiding anymore. They're doing this as a form of witchcraft. I'm telling you. Anyways, trust me, I have a few scriptures on that today. So I wish that you could stay around, bear with me, because you know, up here people, we tend to have short attention span, and you know, we shouldn't be having that, because that again is a subject matter in itself. But we need to just stick around and listen to these things, because here we are. These things are part of what will keep us of the kingdom. Now, I mean, if we take part of it, or you know, people that are around us are taking part of it, we help to draw them out of that witchcraft, that, you know, mind health, you know, especially men. So, you know, this goes out to, you know, a lot of the men as well, you know, because this is something that most men not able to fight, because even I myself, I used to, you know, I mean, watch them type of videos, you know, I mean, not taking away myself out of it. You know, I mean, I used to be, you know, looking at them type of things, and I realized that, you know, nah, these things ain't working. You know what I mean? This is not the thing you to be caught up in, because at the end of the day, it does not gain you any form of, you know, forward movement. It more takes away. You know what I'm saying? And leave you in a state of sinful behavior, thinking, everything, you name it. It's just straight up sinful, right? Now, I'll be taking scriptural readings today from, you know, a few different scriptures. So, you know, some really headbangers, I'm telling you. So I did a little research. I mean, I'm in the Bible, so I, you know, I made up some notes. So I'm going to read some verses for you today to basically edify you on why, you know, we should stay away from these things, and, you know, the things that the Father talks about where that is concerned, right? No joke either. You know, I mean, there's serious penalties for these things, right? And that's what the enemy does. He tries to drop you into a way where you, by default, you forfeit your own salvation. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll be taking scriptures from, you know, from Isaiah to Matthew to Luke. You know what I mean? Peter, Deuteronomy, Revelation, Romans. You know what I mean? Just stick around. So please, you know what I mean, hear me out, because I'm telling you, you know, you need to hear this. You know, no joke, right? So, all right. So let's quickly jump into. I wasn't gonna go with this one first, but let me start with this one actually, because, you know, I got this from the Spirit, in the kingdom of the Spirit this morning, and came up on because I have the app on my phone, so, you know, it updates you with scriptures, you know, every morning, basically. And well, from 12 o'clock, but, you know, that's not when the new day starts with the sunrise. So let's say good morning, right? Um, where we at? I got this one this morning. This one, Romans 12, right? And this correlates with what I was doing in my notes. So this let's fit right in. So I'm going to actually start with this, right? And this is basically dealing with a lot of what is taking place now in terms of sexual immorality and all kind of sinful behavior, right? So let's get into it. All right. So Romans 12, verse 1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Elohim, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Elohim, which is your reasonable service. You know what I'm saying? So when we really soak in that right there, let's read it again. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Elohim, that he present your bodies a living sacrifice. Holy. Holy means set apart. Right? Okay? Acceptable unto Elohim, which is or reasonable service, which is a reasonable service. So that means you have to do that because that's what is required. You know what I mean? Check it out again. Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, let me read that again. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by renewal of your mind, that he may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect, the will of Elohim. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be doing stuff which is not of this world. So you can't be conformed to this what? World. This world is a world which will lead you straight into hell. You know what I'm saying? Straight into hell. All right, check it again. Renew of your mind. The renewing of your mind. Right? You have to be renewing yourself because this world will draw you down into a pit. So you gotta be, even me, I gotta be renewing myself. I gotta be checking myself. You know what I'm saying? Renewing your mind. Right? So that he may prove what is good. So you will know what's good. So when you see something is out of place, you know. So when you renew your mind within the righteousness, from something which for me, I can see it every day. When I see something, I know that, you know what, something wrong right there. You know what I'm saying? So Israel, we have to be doing these things, right? So let's keep going. Let's break this down, you know what I mean? And this is a topic which is a very, very touchy topic, right? So let me go to Leviticus, right? I'm going to go to Leviticus 19, 20, 29, right? And I'm telling you, I'm going to read also 20 as well from chapter 20 from Leviticus 19, right? All right. So this is something that Israel, we definitely have to be, checking ourselves, because if we renew our minds, right, we can know what is not right. Right? And trust me, when I see them dealing with our women like that, degrading themselves, so ladies out there, it's upon you to dress, as what the Bible says, modest, not showing too much of your body, because what that does is, for men out there which are probably even trying to get back to the Father, those stuff help them to draw themselves into sin, because the Father said that you can commit adultery not by doing it physically, but by just looking at somebody lustfully. Something, seeing them and say, oh, and you commit the sin already with your eyes, right? So ladies, try your utmost best to you know, make sure that when you're out there, remember, so you're a queen. You're not no little scatter or, you know, hoe or whatever word they want to use. You know what I mean? You are queens. You have to, you know, attire yourself in that manner. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody think that you're less than what you are. You are a queen, right? I know sometimes female likes to feel a certain way, like, you know, to feel, you know, if the word we want to use is sexy. But at the end of the day, you know, you should be feeling that way for your husband, not for nobody else. You know, whatever you wear out there is not for everybody to see, because imagine you have to leave something for the imagination. You can't be walking around looking like, you know, everything, like what would I call now, meat, you know what I mean, where somebody over there understands, wow, you know what I mean? And they're just checking you on because you have tightly fitted clothes, which shows up your body. And, you know, I mean, all of our women need to really, you know, start really doing some soul searching, you know, renewing your mind, because them things is like, um, not of godliness, because them things will lead us into sinful ways. Now, let me read Leviticus 19, right? Sorry, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 20. All right, I'm going to read 29 as well. And whosoever leadeth carnally, carnal means, you know, like to be of the mind, of the flesh, right? Fleshly, you know what I mean? Carnal mind. So, and whosoever leadeth carnally with a, sorry. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrotheth to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freed, or freedom given to her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death because she was not free. So, hold on, they shall not be put to death because she was not freed. So basically, it states here, you know, whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, right, to a husband, you know what I mean, and not at all redeemed, nor for freedom are given to her, she shall be scourged, right? So basically, it's saying here that if you lie with somebody else's wife, you know what I mean, and she wasn't, like, obviously they want divorce, right? And you go lie with her, you know, she shall be scourged. I mean, ladies, you will be scourged. You can't be doing them things, you know what I mean? So those ladies out there who, you know, having more than one partners, that's not the way to go, right? And I'm not taking an attack on women. I'm actually trying to basically edify you. So please don't take it that way, you know, ladies. If you're listening, it's more to edify you, and also the men as well, right? Because the men, them too, are in it, you know, it's not just you. But check this. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. Let me read that again, and this is Leviticus 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. And if you check it in that video, that's an indication of, you know, wickedness, which is they are demonizing black women. You know what I mean? And you know, them themselves are degrading themselves, and with the lyrics that they're singing, wow, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Crazy. So for me, I was just blown away, personally. Blown away, because this can't be the way that we are moving forward. Remember, to all the kings and all the Israelite men out there, the mayor say is that you must understand that our greatest resource is our women. You destroy the women, you basically destroy the nation. Not to say that you have to destroy the man too as well, but I mean, obviously, without the woman, then you can't build a nation, can you? Don't you? You know what I mean? You know, clearly, without the woman, you can't bring forth your seed. So if the woman them gone astray, that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. That's spiritual warfare right there. Right? So we're gonna jump into Isaiah 13 and 9, right? And I'm telling you, Israel, we need to get into the scriptures and read it, because, you know, it's truly edifying, and you can find anything in the scriptures that can relate to stuff that's really taking place right now, you know, on the earth, right? So Isaiah 13, verse 9, right? All right, and it says now, behold, the day of the Most High cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So I'm saying, so the Most High is coming with fierce anger, fierce wrath, to lay the land desolate, to destroy sinners. Now, I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I talk to people out there on the road, depending, who I've come across, and I try to talk to as much people I can in terms of letting them know. So listen, you need to get yourself right, because you don't want to be in a sinful way, thinking that you're okay, because all of us are sinners. Whether you want to accept it or not, in some form of way, you have done some form of sin, or still doing. You see what I'm saying? And I was no objection to that. I mean, I had to check myself. And as I said, earlier when I read into Romans 12, you got to renew your mind, renew your spirit. You know what I mean? And deal with things, a righteous way and an upful way, because that is what is going to come. You know what I mean? You can't be doing them type of lifestyle here, because it's going to be your own demise, and not just physically, you know what I mean, but spiritually as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you gotta know what you're doing. You know what I mean? This is not no joking. All right. So I'm gonna keep it moving. All right. Saint Matthew 10 and 15. All right. So I'm gonna go to the New Testament now, because I'm taking from both. I started from the New Testament, so I'm going back and forth. And also, a lot of people out there, if you're listening and you're thinking, well, all this from the Old Testament, but a lot of people have to use it as a crutch, right? But you need both. So I don't know how people come across this both using the Testament. The whole Bible is made up of both books. So how you want to take one from the other, that don't make sense. Anyways, let's go to Matthew. All right. So Matthew, as I said, chapter 10, verse 15. All right. And let's read. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. You know what I mean? No, listen to that. Most of us, I should say, or some of us, should know or heard of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was not known to business, right? Even though in songs, you hear that term, Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, especially in dancehall, if you know dancehall music, right? even reggae music, right? They're not so much, too much into rap. I mean, you might hear, if you listen to more of a conscious rap, but you hear Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what it is. And if you went to, church at any point in time, I think more likely they would bring up that topic. But I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah. Check this out, people. Listen to what, and this is Christ speaking right here. This is not, not Christ himself saying, "Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in that day of judgment than for that city." So this is saying right here, right, that it was more tolerable, compared to what Sodom and Gomorrah did, what that city is doing now. They're way ahead of Sodom and Gomorrah. Can you imagine that? The things that were involved in Sodom and Gomorrah, which was, crazy, abominable. You know what I mean? And now, the Father is saying for that city, seeing that which is called Babylon, right? Man, ain't gonna look pretty. I'm telling you that right now. If that's what the Father is saying, right? So let's keep moving again, right? I mean, I'll go through the scriptures and come on, get them out, so we can still do a quick, breakdown of other stuff that's correlating with the degradation of our women, right? And the spiritual warfare behind it. All right, check it out. We're gonna go Luke, St. Luke, right? We're gonna go to 10 and 12, right? So we're still in the New Testament, right? St. Luke 12. Sorry, my bad. St. Luke 10. So that's Luke 10, verse 12. All right. Right. So Luke 10, verse 12. And it says, and this is Christ again. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than that city. So even in Luke, it's repeating what I just read in Matthew. It's stating it. So that's how the Bible talks about that. 2 or more, witnesses. You know what I'm saying? To confirm a thing, right? So this is what is going to happen, right? See? So that's not a good thing, It's going to be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than that city. So I'm going to go to Peter now. St. Peter, which is Peter, 2 Peter 2, 6 and 9 verse. Right? Still in the Testament. So I'm going through the New Testament to show you that, it's both the Bible's balance. I mean, there's no off balance in it because people make it seem like that's not the case. So 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6 and 9. Alright, here we go. Now check this out. And turning the city of Sodom and Gomorrah into ash, right? Condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So the Father is trying to show you here through Peter that they made Sodom and Gomorrah an example, right? So that people who are ungodly would not do what they did. But nevertheless, not only did we not follow that, but we surpassed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's crazy. Alright? Alright, so let's read verse 9 to 12. Alright, but matter of fact, let me read from 7 come down to 9, right? And deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversations of the wicked, right? 8. For that righteous man dwelleth among them, in seeing and hearing vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So even you as a righteous person that's living right now in that city or in Babylon, which, you know, it's craziness that's taking place, right? You see all of these stuff, right? It's gonna affect your soul because you see all this madness, right? Let me continue, right? The Most High knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto that day of judgment to be punished. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High know how to take the righteous, right, the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust on that day of judgment, and, you know, punish them for all their wicked ways. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is not even a joke. You know, these things are so serious, right? So let's keep it moving, because I have a few more scriptures I want to read, right? I'm going to go to Deuteronomy because it's going to get better. Well, I wouldn't say better for the sinners, but this, you know, for edification purposes, right? So, all right, Deuteronomy 23, 17 and 18, right? So going back now to the Old Testament, right? So you see, we're going to both sides of the Bible, and it goes to show you that the Bible does, you know, it's balanced. It shows you that everything correlates, right? So I don't know how people come by certain information, but let's just keep it moving. All right, 17 and 18, Deuteronomy 23, right? And listen to this now, Israel. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. Let me read it again. I don't think we heard that one. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Let me read that last part again. Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You know what a sodomite is, people? Let me show you. Let me read the definition. I'm going to go to the dictionary. Well, in this app, it gives you the meaning of the word. Right? So I'm going to click on it. Oh, I forgot this one. Oh, they don't do it in this one. All right. Well, a sodomite, because I did the checking already, is a person that has anal sex. But I'm going to actually go to the dictionary right now, and let me you know, give you the well, that's the definition I just gave you. What I'm going to confirm it again. As I said, we need more than one witnesses, all right? So let me confirm it even more, right? Because, you know, it's crazy. This is why you heard the term Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? That's where they get that word from. Sodomite, Sodom. Right? Right? So I'm gonna get the meaning right now. Right? Did you hear that? I tried to put it up to the mic, you know what I mean? Hopefully you don't feel about that. I mean, it said a person engaging in anal intercourse. So that's not no common thing. That has to be demonic and witchcraft. You know what I mean? So that's what it means right here in the scriptures when it says, nor sodomites of the sons of Israel, right? So when you see anybody with that kind of character, it's not going to be good for them. It's not me saying it. I'm reading everything from scriptures. It's not me talking about my own personal feelings. No, this is scripture. So it says here, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You know what I mean? Let me continue down to 18 now, where it gets even more terrible. Thou shalt not bring Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Most High. Thy Elohim for any vow, for even both those are abomination unto the Most High. Let's look up the word abomination. Let's see what it means. All right. This one is kind of running away from that as well. So let me go to it. Let me check it again. Right now, this is serious. You know what I mean? And when we go to scriptures, we should try to get them. Right? We should try to get the information. You want to read in the scriptures, look up the words. Right? We have to look and see what it means. Now, check this. Right? I should have turned it up. So it says here, right, a thing that is caused disgust or loathing, right? A feeling of hatred. So that's what the Most High is saying. It's a hatred towards these sinful ways. You know what I mean? So let me read 18 again. Thou shalt not bring hire of a whore or the price of a dog. You know what he calls it, what the reference to a dog? A dog is the other nation. You know what I mean? Gentiles. That's how they refer to them. You know what I mean? Because that's the low that they are, spiritually. You know what I mean? They are like the lowest dogs. Right? Now check it out. Into the house of the Most High, thy Elohim, or any vows, or even both those are abomination unto the Most High, thy Elohim. So you can't bring no whore into the house of the Father. So you're not supposed to marry no whore, right? You're not supposed to be no whore, right? And that's no disrespect to no one, but the reality is a lot of women they are of the character of a whorish way and mentality. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality. It's not me saying it. I think there is in the Bible things which are already declared already. I mean, if you read Ecclesiastes, I think it's chapter 12, right? It tells you that, right? No, sorry. Ecclesiastes 3, that there is nothing new, nothing new, right? Nothing new underneath the sun. So everything which happened already is still happening now. So, you know what I mean? Don't be, astonished, because these are the things which are still here, right? So let me go to Revelation 21 and 8, right? So we're going back now, but we're still, I'm going to go back to the New Testament, right? So let me go to Revelation 21 and 8, right? And it states here as well, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and the liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Now, let me pause right here. Let that soak in a little bit. The second death. We'll never go through more of that, but the second death. The second death, Israel, is no joking. So this is why the Father said, you should be fearful, but you should fear him and fear no one else, because he has the power of death 2 times, which is in the physical and also in the spiritual. So a lot of people don't know that. Obviously, yes, when the physical body is laid to rest and the spiritual rises out of it, right? There also is a living spirit. So you're still there. Not like your spirit is dead too. You know what I mean? No, it's still, your spirit is still there. And the Father has the power to destroy that spirit. So check it out now. right? Be fearful and unbelieving and the abominable, right? And the murderers, right? That's all of these are the things that the Ten Commandments talks about too as well. Murderers, whoremongers, which could be adulterers, you know what I mean? Still the same thing, you know what I mean? You should be doing them things, fornication business, right? And sorcerers, which I talked about earlier, which deals with the video, which Cardi B, as I spoke about earlier, and this girl called Megan Stallion. I don't even know where she get that name from. Stallion. Stallion with what? Crazy. Anyways, so sorcerers, right? Sorcerers are what these people deal with, especially in the videos. You might not be taking attention because when I was watching the video, first thing popped out to me is that they're showing you two tigers having sex. That's a joke thing. That's right there. That's part of sorcery, right? And also snakes. These girls were lying down with a lot of snakes around them. But if you go back into say Abraham, Adam and Eve, what that snake represents. That snake represents the enemy, which make Eve eat off that apple which she should not have eaten. And it's the same thing in the video. You know what I mean? Showing you that the enemy is making these girls eat off an apple which she shouldn't eat, which is lustful lewdness and whorish ways. So nothing will change. Nothing is new underneath the sun. Right? So let's look up the word sorcerer. Right? Sorcerers, right? And I'm telling you as well, sometimes when you're in the Bible, you make sure that you have to check out the meanings as well. Because, it correlates where you can right? Now check this.
This is the definition of sorceress. A female sorcerer or witch.
Did you hear that? A female sorcerer or witch. No, I just said it in the video. That's what they're doing. They're using the witching, so basically that's witchful acts, those sorcery that they're using right there, by using their bodies and all these snakes. I mean, it's crazy. Even I need to watch the whole video all the way through, but I was checking out something and I realized that even as well the other witches which are in the system, which they're called what are name again? Kanye West is married to one of them. Oh man, I remember their names. It was on the tip of my tongue, man. You know them. You know what I mean? All of them sisters, right? She's actually one of them is the younger one, one of the youngest ones. She's in that video as well. So they're showing you all these witches, sorcerers. You know what I mean? I say whoremongers, right? Idolaters, because people look up to them. You know what I'm saying? So check it. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and the liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with brimstone and fire. Fire and brimstone, which is the second death, right? So it's not no joking. So this is crazy, right? Crazy. Now, I'm not want to keep the video too long, but after we get out them to me, right? And I still want to go through all of two more scriptures, the Galatians and Hebrews. So let me go to Galatians real quick, all right? So let's knock through them here real fast because it's not a joke thing, right? So they're using a woman to degrade them to a level where they are put very low, basically. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing to our nation. They're trying to put us lower than what we are. You know, when we're kings and queens, they know this, right? But they're spiritually trying to kill us, right? All right. So Galatians 5:19, and I'm going to read from 19 down to 21, all right? So let me get into it, all right? All right. So Galatians 5:19 down to 21. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adulterers, fornication, uncleanness, and lasciviousness. It's lasciviousness, you know what I mean? A tongue twister, right? Yeah, right? Lasciviousness. What's the meaning of that word actually, right? Because I know what it means. Basically, lewd, or I'm going to go to Google again and let me give you the definition, right? Right? I'm going to get the meaning, right? But it means lewd, really. Vicious. Right? I'm checking it out because it's kind of taking up the time.
According to vocabulary.com, describe a person's.
Hold on. Not coming up with the right word, but let me actually do it on this app, right? All right, here we go. Lasciviousness, lascivious, which is the word itself, is to be lustful and lewd. And another word is there, which is lascivious. You know, I mean, I don't know what that means, but obviously it's correlating, right? But let me just use the word to be lustful and lewd. That's what it means, right? So when we are doing these things, that's what we do, right? Being lustful and lewd, lasciviousness, right? Idolatry. Let me continue reading now. So 20, right? Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variancy, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, and heresy, right? These are the things. Let me continue down to 21, right? Envying, murders, drunkenness, reveling, and such alike, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High, or Elohim. So I'm saying, so I just want to touch on another word right here, which is where is it again? Yeah, sedition. Right? That's the meaning of sedition, right? I'm coming up on this stuff, so let me go to the other thing. Right? Hold on. Google, give me the meaning of sedition. Right? So let's see what sedition means. Right?
According to Wikipedia, sedition is overt conduct, such as speech and organization, that tends toward insurrection against the established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent toward or resistance against the established authority.
No, did you hear that, Israel? So sedition basically is to go against authority, basically. To challenge what? The authority. So basically that's what these guys are doing. They are challenging the authority of the Most High. This is why the Father said they cannot get into the kingdom, right? So these are the things that we have to stay away from, and it's crazy. So let me go to Hebrews and just go on and talk neatly with this, right? works well, right? So we go right back into the New Testament, right? So Hebrews 13, 4, right? Verse 4, right? Hebrews 13, verse 4. And listen to this, Israel. And this is going to finish off all the scriptures I just read. So to give you an idea of what all of this is dealing with, we're dealing with the women, in a lewd way, in a lustful way, which these rap videos and these music videos are putting, it doesn't even matter, because even dancers are seeing it. So it doesn't really matter. You see it everywhere in certain videos. As I said, it goes straight across the board. It might not be in all genres, but mainly in a lot of genres, right? Where women are used in a sexual way, and not just any women, but mainly black women, or let me say Israelite women. Right? Mainly may not be all Israelite women, but I'm just going to say majority. That's rule. So let me just work with that majority. So Hebrews 13, verse 4 states, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and idolaters God will judge. So marriage is what? Honorable. So that's the key right there, is that, especially for the men, right? And then females, but mainly for the men. Because the men, I think, struggle more with that, right now, right? Which is, if you take a woman, you should marry her. No girlfriend and boyfriend thing, you know what I mean? That doesn't work with a Most High, but that's fornication. Because really and truly, you're not supposed to, which is in the Bible. You're not supposed to have sex before marriage. You do that, that is fornication. Not me make it up, not me write it, the Most High, right? So we have to stay away from these things. And I'm going to go to another topic real quickly too, in terms of they're also using our young girls, kids like age 11 and 13, 12. I don't know if you know about a Netflix movie which was called Shooting. I think they take it down now for Netflix because everybody was kind of licking up against it. You know what I mean? Just really making very nice. When I saw the trailer, man, I can't believe it. Check it for yourself. It's called Cuties, right? It's some little girls. One of them, obviously, she is black girl, which I try to tell you, they are trying to put down our people and they're trying to kill us spiritually, right? Check it out. I look at black girl. I think I'm not sure, I don't go too deep, but I think her parents are some form of Muslim or something like that, But they're basically against that type of thing there, I mean, they dress with long skirts and everything. And it is. One day she was looking out through her window. She see some little pitney, a twerk, and she liked it, and she started trying to do it. End up one day to them, and just to cut the story short, they're using young girls to I mean, they're not even touch 15 yet, right? Even if they touch 15, it's still wrong. But these are like kids, and they're using kids to perform lewdness, lasciviousness, right? I hope I pronounce it right? Lewdness, lustful behavior, right? And these are kids. They're promoting pedophilism. You know what I mean? That's a word. But they're encouraging pedophiles to now have a front seat without having to be hiding doing, watching kids perform in a provocative way. What could you have? The worst thing about that movie, you should go and check it out, Israel, is that the trailer should be, is that the director is a black woman. It's crazy. You would have think that this would have been some other nation. When I saw that it was a black woman, I mean, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But what? As I tell you, they use our people, the ones which are, caught up in the world. That's what it says in 12, let's go back to it, real quick, into Romans 12, right? Right? Romans 12, verse 1 and 2, right? Which he talks about that, which, these people are caught up into, these people are caught up into the world to where they forget themselves. They're more interested in, trying to gain some form of notoriety or try to chase them some form of worldly dream that's in the end is going to cost them, cost them dearly too, because it's not about being, satisfied with the flesh, but with the spirit. But people don't really get that, They're caught up with all of that madness. So anyways, here we go. All right, let's just want to read about this real quickly. All right. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Elohim, that he present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is our reasonable service. Right? 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that he may prove what is that is good. To may prove what is that is good and acceptable and perfect, the will of Elohim. Now that's the best way to end that scripture right there, which I started it and I ended with that. You have to renew your mind, right? You have to make sure what with your bodies as well, man. All praise unto the Most High for sending this scripture this morning. And also presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Holy, as I said, means to be set apart. Right? So you can't be of the same thing which people are doing out there. You got to be separate. So ladies, I'm really beseeching to you and even to the man them as well. That we got to stay away from them things. We got to educate a group of people. We can't see people out there doing certain things and we don't educate them, because if we don't, what is going to happen? The Father's going to also, you're going to be judged for that, for not even seeing your brother or sister or friend, which you see is going in a wrong way and not telling them. Don't spare people's feelings. If they want to be upset, may they be upset for the truth. I always said that from day one. Before when I was in that worldly mind, even then I was saying that. That's why I know that the Father was always using me a long time. He was just waiting for the right time. There are certain things I was never really too into anyways. So I'm saying, so you have to make sure that you tell people to listen, even from them, Sila, even from them, I always appreciated women with natural hair as well. I never really too dig the wig thing. No disrespect to the ladies, I know the thing about really and truly, you're supposed to be wearing your natural hair, man. It's beautiful. I don't know why you don't say it. I've seen some girls with some natural beautiful hair, and I said, why are you putting, weave and all of them thing there and all them thing there and extension and all kind of something. Let me say because they can't bother to be, changing them hair, or, it's can't be, combing it every day or whatever the situation is. I try to fix it up every day. But I'm saying, so, you're looking at an easy way out not to, attire yourself or your hair every day because you want to make it easier. When you do that, you're actually dropping into sin, because I think the Bible does talk about you doing it that way, right? I have to definitely go and do my due diligence on that. So next time that can actually be a topic to work for the ladies here, And I know that that's in Leviticus, but that's unclean. You're not supposed to be doing that, right? So ladies, it's not an attack. This is really an edifying reasoning you have in there to let you know that you are under attack. You need to, let your sisters and know that, listen, don't go out on the road just to skimpy and showing up your body. That's actually for your husband. Try to dress modest. And then I said, don't be caught up into this world and their worldly things, man, because it's of the devil, really and truly. You know what I mean? You might not gonna see it at first, but as you get closer, it's right in the front of your face, and probably by then it's too late. You're already gone in, and you probably can't get out. You know what I mean? So, although it's never too late, though. You can always change. But what I'm saying is, try to be very mindful, because if you renew your mind, you can know what is wrong and what is right. You can know what is out of place. Romans 12 tells you, read the whole chapter. You know what I'm saying? All right. So Israel, with that, I'm going to say, shalom, shalom, bless up, give thanks and praise unto the Most High for this blessing today. I hope it was an edifying one for you, as it was for me, right? And until the next time, I say, bless up and all praise unto God. So let us just, finish off with a quick prayer, right? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and forever. Selah. All praises unto the Most High. We give thanks to everybody that's been here with me for, I don't even know how long, but, give thanks, and, until I see you again, I will be putting out another lesson by Friday. So blessings and honor to everyone.